What is a zombie mortgage and why is this important? A zombie mortgage is created when a homeowner stops making payments on one or all of their loans, but the lender doesn't foreclose on the property. This happens more often than you would think, and it leaves homeowners still legally responsible for that debt. Now, why did this happen and why does this matter now? The origins of the problem, those date back to roughly 2 decades ago to the housing bubble of the early to mid 2000s. Lender rules became very lax back then, and it was described very well in the movie The Big Short with Brad Pitt and Steve Carell. If you haven't seen that, look it up. So what happened were these lenders were offering prospective homebuyers two mortgages in the form of what are called 80-20 loans. And what that meant was the second 20% mortgage took the place of the down payment instead of putting down a buyer's actual owned down payment. So a few years later, amid the housing crash during the 2008 financial crisis, the government began advocating for loan modifications on mortgages to curb the explosive amount of foreclosures we had. Now, for some people, that meant that their 20% down payment was forgiven, or so they thought. So instead of forgiveness, some of the lenders would just sell off the loan to debt collectors, then at a fraction of the price of that 20% down payment, often without the homeowners knowing what happened. So now these credit collectors are coming back years later and they're seeking payment of this zombie mortgage. And this is a loan then that the homeowners thought was dead for many years. So now the debt collectors, they want interest and other fees in addition to what is owed that have accumulated over many years. So obviously, these zombie mortgages, they can create a lot of headaches. Okay, so for people, there's number one, there's going to be credit damage, and any unpaid debt is going to, creep up and will eventually severely damage your credit score. And then, of course, there's going to be legal issues and difficulty selling. What can happen is the zombie mortgage will complicate any future attempts to sell. And so homeowners go to sell and then they find out that they owe tens of thousands, then often due with additional interest, and they're stuck and they can't sell. So if you're stuck, then what can you do? So if you suspect that you're dealing with a zombie mortgage, here's a few steps you can take. First off, take a look at your credit report, see where you're at for any outstanding mortgage debts. Number two, get a title search. Title search will cost a couple $100s, but it will reveal any liens or any hidden liens that you didn't know. It can take a couple weeks. Number three, then you're going to want to contact your lender and inquire about the status of any loan and check to see if there's any foreclosure proceedings. And then also consult with a legal professional. They're going to be your best advocate. And if you're stuck at that point, you may have to consider a short sale. If you can't keep up with those payments, a short sale is a better option than facing a foreclosure. You can bounce back on your credit much quicker. So keep in mind, folks, that zombie mortgages are a serious issue. So if you're facing a financial hardship, don't hesitate to reach out to a qualified professional. And I am here to help. And feel free to contact me with any questions or if you have any referral needs.